Everyone fears for their life. Everybody around. My home, my family, everybody fear for their life.
Terror has gripped the family in Monchy as another loved one is gunned down in cold blood in just over a month. The nephew of the deceased, who declined to appear on camera for fear of reprisal, recounted the horrific killing of his uncle, 56-year-old Sylvester Louis. The Monchy resident was felled by a hail of gunfire on the eve of the burial of his sister Cecilia Louis, whose unsolved shooting death on July 20, 2020, continues to haunt loved ones.
Everybody was in a really bad condition. Everybody was in a really bad condition, crying and all different kind of stuff. People couldn't believe that. Nobody haven't slept from since last night. Everybody just in a total state of shock.
The nephew says he was at home when he heard the sounds of gunshots. He says was then greeted by a flood of calls informing him that his uncle was dead. He describes the deceased as a quiet individual who kept to himself.
Yeah, cool, calm, always in his own world, always in his business though. Really look for trouble with anybody, always by himself. If he come around, he'll come and check us here and he'll leave, go to work. Yeah man, that is how I know my uncle. I never know my uncle to be in any kind of other business affairs, nothing like that.
Louis was a welder by profession. The concerned family member says his uncle visited his murdered sister's children frequently in the wake of her tragic death. He says he last spoke to his uncle during the initial phase of the police investigation into his auntie's homicide. He says his uncle and aunt had a very close bond.
Well, they were close, they were very close, brother and sister. They always speak with each other. Every transaction, everything they do is with each other and stuff. They're taking care of their father and stuff because their father is not up to, they were just very close.
An eerie 23-second video with the accompanying piercing sound of anguished screams from overwhelmed family members as first responders placed the mortally wounded Louis into an awaiting ambulance has gone viral.
At approximately 9:30 p.m., the information received stated that there was an alleged shooting incident at Monchy. The emergency crew found a male individual lying on his back on the scene. He appeared to have puncture wounds on his body. An assessment of the patient revealed that he had no vital signs. CPR was immediately initiated and continued en route to the OKEU hospital, where he was pronounced dead by a medical practitioner.
Despite the dark cloud of fear, anxiety, and the sadness that hovers over the family, the nephew says the funeral service for his murdered aunt would go ahead as planned on Thursday, September 3rd.
A couple of hours, and then that sadly happened last night.
What happened?
Well, we'll still have to bury her, and then after work on our uncle.
The shooting death at Monchy brings the island's homicide toll to 32 so far for 2020. Joachim de Plessis, HDS News Force.